The wind moved like a whisper across the endless plains, carrying with it stories older than memory, stories of a people who belonged not to the land, but to the spirit of it. Long before borders, before maps carved the earth into ownership, these people lived free, following the buffalo, guided by nature, untouched by the idea of possession. To them, the land was not something to own, it was something to respect, something to protect, something sacred beyond words. But far beyond the horizon, a different world was rising, one built not on harmony, but on conquest. When the settlers arrived, they did not see a living world. They saw opportunity, land waiting to be taken. At first, there were words, agreements, promises, treaties written in ink but never meant to last. The settlers spoke of peace, but behind their smiles was a hunger that could never be satisfied. Each treaty promised land, safety, coexistence, and each one was broken the moment it became inconvenient. Led by figures like Andrew Jackson, policies were created not for peace, but for removal. The law gave power to force entire nations from their homes, pushing them west into lands unknown and unforgiving. This journey would become known as the Trail of Tears, a path marked not by distance, but by suffering. Thousands walked for months through hunger, disease, and freezing cold, many never reaching their destination. Children cried for food, mothers carried them until they no longer could. The land behind them faded into memory, their homes, their ancestors, their identity left behind forever. But removal was only the beginning. To truly control a people, you do not just take their land, you erase their way of life. The buffalo, their main source of life, were slaughtered by the millions. This was not random, it was strategy. Without the buffalo, the people could not survive as they once did. Hunger forced dependence, and dependence meant control. Then came the children, taken from their families, sent to distant schools designed to erase who they were. Their hair was cut, their names were changed, their language forbidden, their culture punished. Kill the Indian, save the man. Generations grew up disconnected from their roots. Traditions faded, ceremonies stopped. Languages once spoken for centuries began to disappear. What was once a living culture became fragments, and yet something survived. Stories passed in secret, memories kept alive in whispers. Even in silence, identity endured. The world moved on, but the scars remained. History would call it expansion, but for those who lived it, it was something else entirely. This wasn't just a land grab, it was the erasure of a civilization, a people pushed to the edge of existence, but not erased. Because as long as stories are told, as long as memory survives, a culture lives on. Not in the land they lost, but in the spirit they refused to surrender. And that spirit can never be taken.